For almost 50 years, I've been sharing with people in every corner of the globe how to make lifestyle changes so that they can thrive physically, mentally, emotionally, at any age, and be centered and happy, even in the midst of challenging times. So, I'm going to share with you something right now that has been scientifically proven to release stress and anxiety and even slow down the hands of time. Hi, I'm Deborah Poneman, founder of Yes to Success, where we share knowledge and tools for you to live your ultimate life and ageless, anti-aging for your brain, your body, and your future. So are you ready for my number one remedy for happiness, health, and longevity? At least when it comes to lifestyle changes, it is stop eating white refined sugar. It's so simple. Try it for 1 week. You see, some foods cause inflammation in the body and the brain, and white sugar is one of the worst, if not the worst culprit. Inflammation slows down communication between neurons in your brain, and that causes you to feel dull and foggy and forgetful and grumpy. And furthermore, brain inflammation is serious because it means the nerve cells in the brain could be dying. In other words, brain inflammation is causing your brain to atrophy and age too fast. Inflammation has been shown to play a significant role in Alzheimer's, as well as other degenerative illnesses, including diabetes, arthritis, osteoporosis, even heart disease. And sugar, according to recent research done at the University of Cambridge, may be more widely implicated in dementia than was previously thought. A diet high in white refined sugar, which, by the way, sorry, includes not only your run of the mill donuts and cookies and candy and cake and cola and the like, but also wine and anything that acts like white sugar in your body, which includes carbohydrates like white pasta. Well, in fact, all white refined flour, tortillas, pita bread, Wonder Bread, most breakfast cereals, any processed grains. And not only does inflammation in the brain play a significant role in Alzheimer's as well as many other degenerative brain diseases, but inflammation in the body contributes to the illnesses that I already mentioned, but also cardiovascular disease. And I think I already mentioned diabetes and arthritis, but osteoporosis, some cancer, as well as weight gain and even depression. Obviously, this is not something you want in your diet. The World Health Organization recommends limiting added sugars to 5% of an adult's daily caloric intake. I recommend 0%. But the average American's intake is actually 13%, which is almost 3 times the recommended amount from the World Health Organization. That's a lot. That's 17 teaspoons of sugar a day or 57 pounds a year. And listen to this. Research has also shown that our brains exhibit signs of addiction to sugar in the same way as addiction to drugs. Actually, in a 2007 study that was titled Intense Sweetness Surpasses Cocaine. Really, that was what the study was called. And it was done by Lenoir et al. At the University of Victor Saint-Gallen in Bordeaux, France. And it was sponsored by the French Research Council. But it showed that sugar proved to be more rewarding for your brain than cocaine. And they also uncovered that sugar could lead to anxiety and depression and even changes in your genetic code. So that's the bad news. The good news is you can wean yourself. How do you begin to wean yourself? Which, I mean, because it's everywhere, it's everywhere. First, you have to know yourself. If you're like me, you have trouble weaning yourself slowly. I can't eat treats in moderation. I'm one of those people who has to go cold turkey. One taste and it's all over. Ask my friends and family. I say, okay, I'll just have a tiny taste of that cake, and then I go back for another tiny taste, and then another tiny taste until I've eaten half the cake. So no, I have to do it cold turkey because if I violate it, it's over for me. So again, if you're like me, the only way to begin is just stop. That's right, just done, fini. And instead of satisfying your sweet tooth at the beginning with some Well, actually, I'll talk about artificial sweeteners in a second. Start with things like coconut palm sugar or date sugar or monk fruit. Just look at the package and make sure that the monk fruit doesn't contain erythritol because it is a harmful sugar alcohol made in a lab and also causes inflammation. Or you could use stevia, one of my favorites. Just make sure the stevia is organic and it's not Truvia or Purvia, which are chemical-filled products that are put out by the Coca-Cola and PepsiCo companies, respectively. Even maple syrup or honey are better at the beginning, but you'll want to slowly even wean yourself off of those, since although maple syrup causes less inflammation than sugar, it actually has a higher glycemic index and does cause some brain inflammation. And I would just say, honey's great because it has vitamins and minerals and other nutrients, and actually, and maple syrup does too. But unlike honey, maple syrup is really easy to cook with. And honey, when it's heated, actually turns toxic. Okay, so, but some of the good things about honey is that it's been shown to lower bad, LDL cholesterol and lower triglycerides and even actually reduce inflammation and raise good HDL cholesterol, but it also raises blood sugar, but to a lesser extent than table sugar. And again, don't cook with honey because if it's heated to the boiling point or it's put in boiling water to like sweeten your tea, it does become toxic. So, and also always organic, always raw honey, not filtered, not strained, and again, not heated above 115 degrees Fahrenheit. And then also if you heat the honey, then all of its nutritional value, all bets are off. And honey also is full of active enzymes, amino acids, and as I said, vitamins and minerals and fatty acids that are vital for keeping the body healthy and preventing illness. That's why when you have like a sore throat, it's really, really good to have a little bit of raw honey. Raw honey also contains B complex and vitamin C, and as I said, minerals, calcium, magnesium, potassium, zinc. And raw honey has the power to strengthen the immune system. And as I said, reduce throat irritation and even calm your nerves. Actually, I remember when I was pregnant with my kids, I also used it to relieve morning sickness. So lots of good things for honey. Uh, but again, I know I'm going to sound like a broken record. Don't cook with it. Again, it loses its enzymes and it can have a negative effect. So if you have a sweet tooth and you really want to curtail inflammation in the brain and body, eat things like dried fruit or sweet fresh fruits like bananas or grapes. I love freezing them. I put grapes in a baggie and freeze them, or I cut up my bananas in little chunks. And when I feel like something sweet, I just open the freezer and get myself a little baggie of grapes or banana chunks. And also, you get fiber that way. And these days, you don't have to worry about your kids not having treats. There are literally thousands of recipes for birthday cakes and fun, delicious baked goods sweetened with stevia or fruit juice or applesauce or mashed bananas. I always made my kids' birthday cakes without sugar, and their friends did not know the difference, even though they got their birthday cakes at Costco. And you could get so many yummy treats at your local health food store or online that are sweetened with fruit juice or dates, or make them yourself. Once your craving for sugar is less, then you'll want to even reduce your intake of, things that are sweetened with dried fruit. Just, a few dates a day, something like that. And when you really reduce your sugar intake, what you're going to notice, this is crazy, you're going to notice that when you eat things like nuts, they're going to taste so sweet to you. All right. Unsalted and not roasted, sprouted are the best. But again, if you're not a cold turkey kind of girl or guy, then gradually decrease your sugar consumption week by week. Week one, just notice ways to cut back. Like instead of a Danish with your Starbucks, get a croissant. Instead of sugar in your Starbucks, put in some stevia. They have stevia at every Starbucks, on the planet. I know that even a Danish is white refined sugar, but I'm saying start slowly. Wean yourself, or you're never going to stick with it. Start doing things like putting bananas and raisins and just a touch of maple syrup on your oatmeal instead of 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. Don't eat sweetened yogurt, but instead get plain yogurt. By the way, I'm not big on dairy, so I recommend coconut milk yogurt or cashew milk yogurt. But then just add a little bit of stevia or a little bit of honey or monk fruit or date sugar or 100% pure fruit jam. I sweeten my cashew yogurt with 100% fruit strawberry jam, like total yum. But do not substitute artificial sweeteners like Equal or Splenda for your white sugar. They come with a host of their own problems, including devastating health consequences, most even worse than white refined sugar. The fact that they dull your taste buds and make you crave more sweets, that's the least of your worries with poisons like aspartame. I mean, just for example, sucralose, commonly referred to as Splenda, is a sugar from which some naturally occurring matter is removed and swapped out for chlorine. True. Look it up on the internet. So while it tastes sweet, the body doesn't recognize it, so it doesn't attempt to break it down. Thus, it has 0 calories. But again, because the body doesn't recognize it and sees it as a foreign invader, it activates the immune system and causes inflammation. Not to mention that artificial sweeteners like aspartame, which are sold under the names like NutraSweet and Equal, were documented well before they were released into the marketplace to be linked to breast cancer, liver and colon cancer, and so much more. Numerous studies also documented increased diagnoses of fibromyalgia, multiple sclerosis, migraine headaches, menstrual problems, even infertility and laboratory animals that consume these artificial sweeteners, as well as a lack of ability to concentrate and even changes in behavior in children who had a lot of these artificial sweeteners, like more anger and more aggression. And if after a while you're still having sugar cravings, this is going to sound unusual, grab some protein instead, like make a shake with a stevia sweetened protein powder, or eat a hard boiled egg or a small handful of nuts. Again, organic, raw, unsalted, of course, sprouted is the best. I mean, I know a hard boiled egg isn't exactly a Snickers, but when you eat that kind of pure protein, it will quell your cravings and it doesn't cause brain inflammation. And be sure to eat regular meals and eat protein at every meal because it helps stabilize blood sugar and it's the most satisfying macronutrient, so we don't crave sweets. It's most important at breakfast. And be sure to take good supplements. Nutrient deficiencies can make cravings worse. Certain nutrients seem to improve blood sugar control and reduce cravings, and those include chromium, magnesium, and vitamin B3. And as you begin to detox from sugar, because it is a toxic drug, as a matter of fact, again, in laboratory studies, mice chose it over heroin, just saying, you might find you have a headache for a day or two or other symptoms of detoxing like fatigue. Some people even get mouth sores from the toxins moving out of their systems when they go off sugar. So be sure to drink lots of water to help flush out the toxins. And remember, if you drink sugary drinks like vitamin water, or worse yet, things like Coke Zero or Diet Pepsi sweetened with aspartame, you'll want to start substituting water. Although there's now, I hear, a line of vitamin water that's sweetened with monk fruit and stevia. Yay for them. And I think it comes in great flavors like coconut something, coconut lime, I think, and raspberry chocolate. I mean, I stick mostly with good old fresh water. Spring water is the best. Oh, and for those who are having a hard time weaning themselves from sugary soda, there is a brand of soda called Zevia, Zevia, that you could get at any health food store. They have Coke, they have Dr. Pepper, although they call it Dr. Zevia. They have cream soda and ginger ale. They even have grape soda, all sweetened with stevia. And one last thing, to take the temptation out of your life, do what I do. Everyone who comes in my home knows that it is a sugar-free zone. and I ask that they not bring sugary foods into my house. If it's someone's birthday and we have a party and they want a sugary cake and ice cream, fine. It's their birthday, so I'm not gonna push my agenda on them, but they have to take it home when they leave. So there's no temptation because again, I admit I am not great in the self-control department. Actually, let me reframe that. I used to not be great in the self-control department, but I'm getting better all the time. But why tempt fate? So that's it for today. Good luck. I'm rooting for you. And after the first couple days of detoxing, notice how not only does your mind wake up and you just feel brighter and clearer, but your skin texture and softness completely changes, wrinkles diminish, dark circles under your eyes disappear. So, hello, mental clarity, good memory, radiant skin, more strength and stamina, and all the other glorious benefits of being sugar free. I'm not going to say it'll be a cakewalk, no pun intended, to go off of sugar, but I will say it'll be worth it. I haven't eaten much white sugar in decades, but I've been 100% off for about 4.5 years. It's one of my absolute top suggestions for energy, happiness, and staying ageless. And by the way, for those of you who haven't yet taken my Ageless Weekend that I teach with Harvard-trained mind-body researcher Ronnie Newman, click on the link below and join me for a free 90-minute masterclass where I share more secrets to slowing and even reversing aging of your brain and your body. Hope to see you there. Bye for now.